going on? Welcome back, Gameplay Podcast episode 2. Just gonna continue to update NBA free agency as we finish up day 3. Pretty quiet last 2 days. Day 1 was quite the flurry of signings, but really the theme of day 2 and 3 was teams, competitive teams, championship caliber teams add depth. And then the NBA continues to wait on Kawhi Leonard. We'll just cover a couple of the bigger signings, what I would consider to be quote-unquote bigger signings. And that's going to be, like I said, competitive teams, championship caliber teams adding depth. So I think right off the bat you got the Utah Jazz picked up a couple of pretty good bench players. They add point guard Emmanuel Mudiay on a 1-year deal, and forward Jeff Green on a 1-year deal. Not huge moves by any means, but when you're a playoff team, which they already were, they have a super talented roster, so adding 2 really good bench players, big move for them moving forward. So I like those moves for the Utah Jazz. They're going to be a really fun team to watch. All right, then you got the Warriors. Freaking Warriors making quite a splash. They made 2 of what I would consider to be the best moves in free agency so far. Obviously, the front office getting something in return for losing Kevin Durant in the sign and trade for D'Angelo Russell with the Brooklyn Nets. Huge move. Genius by the Golden State Warriors. And what do you expect? They're an excellently run franchise. I would expect nothing less from them. But reports are that he is going to be flipped. They're going to look to trade him before the trade deadline this year, which is smart. Obviously, like we talked about in the first podcast, he does not fit with their team whatsoever. But he's going to have a lot of interest from other teams. In my opinion, I thought he was going to end up going to the Los Angeles Lakers as an unrestricted free agent. That's always not going to happen, but maybe if they don't land Kawhi Leonard, maybe they look to get him on their team somehow, which I think would fit really well. So regardless, Golden State Warriors make some really good moves. The second move they made that I really like was signing Willie Cauley-Stein, free agent center from the Kings. The reason I like that move is because championship teams that have limited cap space with the guys, they're all-stars on a bunch of max contracts. It's just really nice to get a center, and we've seen in the past the Warriors with Andrew Bogut, JaVale McGee, Tyson Chandler playing for the Lakers, guys like that. Those guys are vet minimum type guys that just bring a lot of depth, and I think their play style really works with a championship caliber team. So I think that's going to be a great fit for the Warriors. Really like that move. I was kind of hoping he would end up at the Lakers. I think he'd be a great piece for the Lakers. So the Lakers did go ahead and pick up a few mid-level guys. They signed Jared Dudley and another shooter. Jared Dudley's a really good shooter, especially for his size. So they finally add a couple pieces. And another, they picked up a guard, Troy Daniels, 40% three-point shooter. So not huge moves, but they finally add a couple pieces to their roster, which they obviously need real bad. So the biggest news probably is concerning all-star type players, the big players. the 76ers offer Ben Simmons a 5-year max extension, and they're all anticipations that he's going to sign it, obviously. So that kind of just solidifies their core of their team moving forward. Some other free agent moves that I really like: the Boston Celtics replacing Al Horford with Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter is a really good big guy, one of the better big men in the league, especially for like second-tier big men. I really like that move for them. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, another championship caliber team, pick up Wesley Matthews, who's a really good three-point shooting guard. Good move for them. Frank Kaminsky signs a 2-year deal with the Suns. Oklahoma City picks up Alex Burke. The Blazers pick up Hassan Whiteside in the signing trade with Miami Heat that involved Jimmy Butler. I think he fits in really well with their team, honestly. That was kind of like it ended up being like a 4-team trade, but they got rid of Hassan Whiteside to make the room for Jimmy Butler's max contract. I kind of was disappointed that a team like the Portland Trail Blazers didn't try to make any moves based on the fact that they're a playoff team. They made it really far, obviously. The playoffs this last year, and they got guys like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and they're not making any moves. They're not going after anybody. They're one of those weird franchises, but I like this move. Kind of low key, picking up a really good center. So I know they already got a big man, but I think he got like a 1-2 now, and that works really well for them. It should, at least. Isaiah Thomas still floating around. He signs a 1-year deal with the Wizards. Wizards are trash. Sorry if you're a Wizards fan. And that's really it. There's some other low key signings. So the NBA continues to wait on Kawhi Leonard. We'll see when that decision is made, but I like him going to the Clippers. That's my prediction. So hope you've enjoyed these podcast videos. We'll probably do 1 or 2 more based around NBA free agency. Definitely when Kawhi Leonard makes his decision, and then Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins still out there. There's not much of a market for Boogie Cousins, but I look for him to sign with a team like the Lakers, a championship team, reunited with Anthony Davis if they don't get Kawhi Leonard. So another interesting player. We'll see situation. We'll see what happens there. Like I said, if you like these podcasts, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate the support. Just trying to grow this channel, and every little bit helps. So I hope you enjoyed it, and catch you on the next podcast.